Welcome back to the Elevator Podcast. We're definitely going to keep this conversation going, though, more so when we talk about like God and stuff. I would like you to introduce yourself, tell the audience about yourself, whoever is here that hasn't met you already. I'm sure your followers are going to be here, but for anybody that doesn't, tell them who you are.
All right, what's up, everybody? I hope everybody is doing very well. I hope the peace is within you. My name is Ago, A-G-O-Y, because my name is Axel Jermaine Owen. So abbreviated as Ago. I make music as well, and I feel like everything I spit is already in the past. And that's just a way for me to, just embrace who I am and understand that everything is about that moment. Everything is that moment. When I make music, it's about that one moment, how I felt, trying to make that emotion feel real. Not even trying to make it because it is real. It's just understanding when to, not forcing it, have it come out effortless.
Yeah. I feel you. So you you're also the host of the SO YEA podcast.
Yes, sir.
How is that whole one? I really want to know how did that journey start and how is it going? And then where do you also want it to go?
You know what's funny is that I wanted to start the podcast with other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you realize to yourself that it's like, actually, now, if you want to do it, you got to do it for yourself. You got to do it because you really want to. You got to do it if you're actually curious to find out more than just yourself. The people that I speak to don't have my personality, don't have my perspective. They have their own. And that's what I love about it. Because God created us all. So who is anybody to judge anybody for who or what they believe in if God created that person as well? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a very like I said before, live and let live. You have to just let people live, man. And choose wisely, of course. But the decision is yours.
Yeah. I want to go on that statement, live and let live. I think we need to be careful with that because obviously if you see, especially when it comes to people close to you, like if I see someone in my circle that are doing something that, not that I don't agree with it, but I see that it's going down a wrong path and that they're going to need help, I'm going to offer that hand. But if you slap it away from me, then then it's live and let live. But I think at a certain point, you got to be careful with that because in certain aspects, people do need help. And you can't just be like, all right, now you're going to do your own thing. It's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let me ask you, when you needed help in your life, didn't you have to come to terms to that?
Yeah, but I also took I took all the help I could get. A lot of it was from God, but then a lot of it was from, it's funny, and the people who I should have listened to were like family members, parents, people that are like above you in a certain way, and I never listened, but they still offered that guidance, that hand, they didn't just be like, yeah, fuck him.
Of course, because they love you. But the reality is most people don't. So how are you going to understand that within living your own life? You're going to go through your experiences. You're going to get slapped in the face by reality a lot of times. Yeah. However many times you want until you make your own decision on when you want to learn that lesson. And it's not up to anyone to be like, oh, you got to learn this right now. Or you got to understand this right now. And that's why I was getting into that whole discussion with just like Kendrick and Drake right now. Nah, I'm being serious. Like if we're talking about like rap beef and all that right now, like yo, I think Kendrick is an amazing artist. The way he dissects and analyzes and goes into many different ways of thinking. But I also feel like Drake is a person who's writing through his experiences, and no one can. I mean, like, can you understand living that guy's life? Nah. Like nobody really can if you think about it. And that's his own unique story. So it's just like when I'm thinking about music and how I hear it, when I hear Kendrick, I feel like I'm in like the school system. I'm like, here's a lesson. Tómate. Siéntate ahora mismo and like listen to what I gotta say because you gotta learn this lesson. It's just like, yo, bro, like chill. You know what I'm saying? Like when I want to listen to music, I want to feel something. I want to just like enjoy, you know what I mean? And that's just me personally. Yeah. And that's why when I listen to certain types of music, I get a certain type of vibe. And that's why certain music gets played in a club and certain music gets played in certain areas, or certain music you listen to when you're by yourself. And that's beautiful too. You know what I mean? Everything got its place. Yeah. But I feel like it's just a matter of accepting it and understanding that, yo, we all here, yo. Why you getting tight? Why this motherfucker just rapping like this or this motherfucker rapping like that? Who the fuck cares? This rap. And that's another thing too. It's just like, yo, bro, like, if you really telling me that rap isn't about putting your fucking dick on the table and saying, yo, this is who I am. I don't give a fuck about how you feel about it, because this is how I feel about my life. It's how I feel about my life. You don't need you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're true to yourself and not hiding behind your culture or your whatever you think you are, because if you really think about it, your culture is fabricated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, culture is fabricated. Whatever you think that, oh, this culture is like, really, is it though? Because when you go deep into it and you're talking to people in society, some people don't have those fucking ways of thinking. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's just painted very well. And depending on the painter that we're, observing, they create their own details.
Yeah. Speaking of the music industry, since you opened up this can of worm, we had a little conversation back and forth in the comment section on one of my posts about
Let's talk about it.
How before we get into specifics, how is what is your opinion of the current state of music today?
It's amazing, bro. You know why? Because this is where it's supposed to be. Like, yo, bro, people, like, I love listening to music. Have you ever went on YouTube and just listened to a mix of music from all time?
No.
Yo, bro, I'm a weirdo that way. I'd be like, just prepare for history. On some shit, like, I'll listen to music from all time, from classical music down to when music changed into like the 80s and going into all this type of different styles. And what I learned just from listening is that we go through cycles. We go through cycles of thought. We go through cycles of frequencies. We go through cycles of intensity. And have you ever seen, like, do you know anything about like sacred geometry?
No.
So there's this diagram that shows like a circle and a square, and then another circle, and then another square, and another circle, and then another square. And what it's supposed to represent, right, is like primitive man consciousness, and then Christ consciousness. And I honestly feel like there's periods of time where we have deeper understanding of self, society, and being. And that's why in certain civilizations of the past, they were able to create such amazing architecture and irrigation systems and all these concepts that brought up today's society that were done in a time that no one thought they could do it.
Yeah, it's like the pyramids.
I love it. I love the pyramids, bro. What? Listen, that's another whole conversation. But
you know what I think? What I think happens is that we are capable of exceeding anything that we really think is possible. When in terms of the mental state, physical state, and just in the general well-being, I think we're capable of a lot that we're not really allowed to be, because if everybody was in that Christ consciousness, the people that are in power would be getting taken out of power. So they're going to do shit to fuck with us. And I think we see, and then you say it's like a cycle. And I think that's what that cycle is. Because then you have certain points in time where we start to wake up, and then the powers that be are like, no, we got to cut this shit out. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's that, bro. And,
Because it's like, how is it? Because we can't, like, all right, if we get to the point in the Christ consciousness, let's just use that term, for example. Why haven't we stayed there forever? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, if you go deeper into sacred geometry, you will actually find out that those are the cycles. So it goes on repeat forever and forever.
So it just naturally turns off and on.
Right.
Well, I think that's kind of like, so damn, this can get deep, because I think this is just going to be a representation of everything, really, in like religion maybe and other sacred texts. Like you have yin and yang, devil and Satan. You know what I'm saying? You have those are cycles in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? You got cycles of good, and then you got cycles of bad.
Very much so, yeah.
But we're getting a little. I want to focus on music for now, because I want to save that more towards the end for more spiritual conversations.
Sure.
You said that music was is in a good place right now. I don't really necessarily agree with that, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm a type of person, I don't listen to a lot of like music that's coming out nowadays, except those diss tracks. The Kendrick and Drake beef has been very entertaining. But I listen to a lot of old music, and I consider like a lot of music that's coming out now, I don't consider it music at all, because it's just like, and that could be just my personal opinion and my perspective. But what I see a lot in, let's say, like hip hop, I see a lot of people trying to copy and paste a lot of stuff. They're trying to portray a character that's not necessarily who they are. They're not really bringing their followers to a good place. And again, in my opinion, I'm curious. And then we had this back and forth about people like Ice Spice and Sexy Red. I think they're not. I don't think they're.
Wait, can we before you go there? Can we talk about that first?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot.
All right, so I asked you today, right? I was like, "Have you ever listened to my music?" And you said, "No, not yet." Right? I've known you for some time. You know who I am.
Yeah.
I don't think about things any differently than most other people do, but I have a very curious mind. You would say that most people maybe wouldn't ask the questions that I do, right?
Yeah.
So
You're in
with
a
that
different
being
spot
said,
than others.
maybe you could think for yourself, like, hey, let me see the people around me and what they're putting out, because there's other music out there, bro.
No,
And there's other music, but like going back,
100%.
like there's going back to that. It's just like there's other music that doesn't represent that, or that people don't think about this, but they're not listening. So it's just a matter of like, well, what are you listening to? You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing against that, bro. I think you're mad cool. You know, I'm here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's all love, but
Yeah.
I'm pointing it out for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's just
I
to
hear what you're saying.
display a real like conversation. Cause like, yo, bro, at the end of the day, people work their ass off on creating things all around. I have this song that I'm working on, that I have, that's gonna be a part of this album that I'm working on, called In My 20s, because it's encompassing many different emotions that I felt throughout my 20s. And like, it's not anything new. People have done it before, but that's my own feeling and my own way of going about what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? But it's a matter of how people really want to digest what they want to digest. What are you eating? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
today I ate after the gym. I was like, yo, let me get some spinach, chickpeas, and rice, bro. Nothing crazy. But it felt good to eat. I felt energized afterwards. You know what I mean? I had my smoothie. I felt, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about music. That's how I feel about many things in life. You know what I mean? Women, you know what I mean? What kind of pussy you getting? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of pussy you getting, bro? Like, you're getting that pussy that is going to drain you, or is getting that pussy that's going to energize you?
Yeah.
There's different types of energies.
Sorry.
That's all good.
I hear what you're saying though. When it comes down to like, what type of music are you listening to that's portraying these characteristics that I'm saying, and I'm listening to a lot.
And
of
I fuck
music.
with the beef, by the way. I fuck with the beef too.
Yeah, Kendrick is winning. I'm not gonna lie.
Right now, as of right now. But have you heard Drake's latest?
The Heart Part 6.
Right.
Yeah, but it was like,
But
I don't.
all right,
We're not gonna.
let's
keep going
talk
on this.
about it. Let's talk. I
Because
want to
wanna
talk about this shit for real.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, but I want to just like, I think more of my frustration when it comes to music is, I guess, the people that are at the top more per se, because there are a lot of people that are making real music, and I can understand that, and I get that, but it's like the people that are at the top and have the clout and have the money and have the fame, it's like, what the fuck, like, how did you really get there? You know what I'm saying? I'm just confused on like, how did you really get there? Because I like music. Don't get me wrong. I can tell when music is good, regardless if I really like that type of genre. I can tell if it's good or not, because music is music at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it now is just like very just catchy, and it's very just like, it's, to me, it's just not it. And then I think what people need to be careful with as well is that the type of music that you listen to could alter you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about sacred geometry, but it's like, and frequencies and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful what you're listening to, because what you're listening to is going to affect who you are at the end of the day, whether you agree with that or not.
I got something to say about that.
I think we got. Well, what do you got to say about that?
Well, it's like watching a movie, right? You know, a lot of people love Tony Montana, but are you gonna be fucking Tony Montana in real life, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you Scarface, bro? Like, no, you're not. You could love a movie, but you don't have to be that fucking character that's fucking in that movie. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that music isn't real or spiritual, because it is. There is a connection. But in reality, you know, as you grow up and become your own individual self, yo, bro, you gotta understand that certain things are created for entertainment. Certain things are created for the drama aspect of it. Certain, even like love songs and all these things, they're like, bro, a lot of it is dramatized. You know what I mean? Why? Because people want to feel an emotion, you know? A lot of times people are going through different periods of their life. So what? When a guy gets the shit end of the stick and he's not in a I don't know, relationship anymore, he's in single or whatever, like he's not gonna go through his own shit. Or if the woman does, she's gonna go through her own shit. She's gonna feel her emotions. In those times, create different types of music. Yeah. And sometimes people are gonna resonate to whatever they're gonna resonate, depending on where they are in their life at that time. And that's okay, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Get that. I get it. But it's just like, well,
and bro, like what, all right, so what is it that you want? And it sounds like you don't really listen to other types of music, and if you are, you're listening to older types of music. That's what you said.
Well, no, I'm listening to all types of music. I'm listening to hip hop, classical, jazz, 80s fucking pop, or whatever you want to call it, rock music. I'm listening to a lot of it, and I listen to the newer ones too, but they're just not the same. You know what I'm saying? For me, again.
Well, what do you want out of music?
I want authenticity. I want originality. I want to understand. I want to hear not necessarily a story, but I want to feel the music. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be. I don't want to hear about some girl calling people fucking munches. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear "fuck my baby daddy." You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, it's just like I just don't consider that music. I feel like that's just detrimental to the listener. And then to that argument that you said about Tony Montana and movies and music are totally different. Again, they're forms of art, but they're two different types of art. And music, you're gonna listen to music way more than you're gonna watch a certain movie. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's like where you're listening to music. You know, like some people listen to music at the gym or something, and they want that raw, like, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah, they're not gonna be out there killing someone. You know what I mean? Like, they want to do more push-ups.
That kind of like that kind of like aids my point of like music is spiritual, because you're gonna put on a certain type of music when you want to be in a certain type of mood. You know, if you're in the gym, you're gonna put on some fucking like maybe fast-paced, bass like heavy or bass heavy music. Yeah, you know, to hype you up. If you're sad or in a breakup, you're gonna listen to some freaking Post Malone maybe, or whatever it may be. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Listening to fucking Post Malone,
John Legend, whatever it may be.
No, yo,
you understand what I'm saying?
Not to knock that, but not in that time. You know what I mean? Not to knock Post Malone.
And I think so. Let me share with you my experience of what it was, because and why I think the way I'm thinking in this certain situation is like I used to listen to a lot of drill music. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, I used to listen to it not because it was necessarily good, but because I wanted to portray a certain character to everybody else around me. That I was Mr. Tough Guy, I was Mr. fucking whatever, like you know what I'm saying? And I see the people around me and I'm like, if I'm doing this, what are you doing? And it's like, especially because if you know somebody, you know, that you're with them every day, it's like, you know who they really are, regardless of the character that they're trying to portray. And I've had this experience with people that I was close to that they swear up and down that they're this type of person, but in reality, your actions and your way of thinking is that's not lining up. It's not lining up. Like, you're not this person. And I see a lot of people, they're playing this music, they're putting on these acts, trying to portray something that they're not. And to me, it's just like, and you have a point, it's like live and let live, you know what I'm saying? They have to go through these things. But to me, it's just like the people that are making the music and capitalizing off of this situation that I'm explaining, to me, that's just not right, you know? And I get, and it's like, and then you go to a club and then you got hip hop songs talking about killing people, fucking this guy's bitch, and all this. And then it's like, yes, you're not gonna, you know, certain people aren't gonna take that exact scenario from the song and actually do it, but some people over time are gonna start, you know, portraying the things that they're hearing. You understand what I'm saying?
It's a capitalistic society. That means where there's, you know, want, when there's a demand for it, that's what's gonna be going out. And I'm not gonna say
think there's a demand for it, because I think there's a lot of manipulation that's involved
to make
it in demand, and then everybody else sees that it's in demand. So now with that be like, because now that they're seeing it's getting the views, now it's getting more views. I don't know, bro. Because I'm gonna have to disagree with you. There's a lot of kids out there, bro, that love fucking drill music, and that's what I'm saying. Like I can't knock. You know what, yo, bro. You know what it sounds like, bro? When I was younger and I was listening to certain types of music and I was just like, yo, I fucking love this song. And then there's the older people like, oh, they don't know about music. Bro, like, yo, just let people fucking live their time, bro. If you don't like that music, then listen to the music that you were listening to make you happy. Whatever helps you sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, bro. Because it's like, people make shit so, like, it's not that deep. And sometimes it is that deep.
But it's just a matter of like, what do you want it to be? You know what I'm saying? You could enjoy life, or you could be detrimented by it.
Yeah, I think it's just I don't want people to get lost in that realm.
But it sounded like
trying to
you
put on
got lost in
characters.
the sauce of it.
Yeah, I
and
did.
and you're sharing your experience through it, so you don't want other people to go through that experience. But yet again, you've captured a lot of perspective going through that experience, and it wouldn't have made you who you are right now. So like it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because it's
100%.
like it's something that you can either accept and then move forward, or use it as like, oh, like I just don't want people to be this way. Like, bro, like they have to be that way. It's like I don't want to say unfortunately, because it's not really unfortunate. It's like life handling. Yo, have you ever done something to someone but didn't do it to someone else? Or have you ever got something done to you that you wouldn't have done to someone else, and then eventually you did? And then you were like, whoa, well, how come I took it that way, but then when I did it, it was okay? It's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I
it's
get what
like,
you're saying.
bro, like there's many times in your life that you're going to experience yourself in the mirror. Are you going to choose to look? That's up to the person.
I feel what you're saying. I think when it comes down again to the music issue, though, it's like I think you need to call a spade,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we need to be real with what the music is, what the music is doing to people. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, like, again, yeah, I see what your point. It's like I've been, I was the one that got lost in the sauce, and now because of that experience, I'm trying to help others. But it just like that's why I kind of need to start speaking. I need to speak from my experience. I can't just not say anything and be like, all right, it's just this is what the people want.
And that's honorable, because that's something
You know
that
what I'm
is
saying?
true.
No, I'm not gonna fucking go on. I'm not gonna protest drill music, and I'm gonna be like, you guys gotta stop listening to this. No, I'm not gonna say that. I mean, obviously, people do like it, and people are gonna continue to like it.
Yeah.
I can't change that. I'm not trying to either. I'm just trying to express that you need to be careful, and that for the people that are listening and we're in the situation of, damn, like this isn't really what I like, but because everybody else likes it and because it helps me portray this character, I'm gonna listen to it anyway. I'm just trying to express that that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to do that. You need to just be who you are and understand. I think we can both agree on understand that life is a test. You know what I'm saying? Wherever we go after life is wherever you choose to believe. But right now in the present, this is a test. What you do day by day and what character you choose to portray, it's all a test. And you need to learn from that. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn that, like, okay, the struggle that I'm in now is for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's to propel me into where I'm supposed to be. And either I'm gonna fucking, bust my ass to get there, or I'm gonna just go the complete opposite way. You know what I'm saying? But I think music plays a big part in that. And I'm like, you need to call a spade a spade. Some of this music is fucking trash. And people are sitting there dancing and fucking having a good old time. But it's
They
like,
like
yo, like, what the fuck? Like, this shit, this shit is trash. You're portraying qualities that are just fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I'm saying? But that's just me, I guess.
Yeah, man. I always tell people, if you don't like the music that you're listening to, create it.
Yeah, I would like to create music. I just don't think I have that creative aspect of me.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's just the same way like how people be like, oh, why didn't he make that jump shot? Can you make it?
Speaking of creative aspects, where do you find most of your creative parts when you're making music or even talking to people on podcasts? Because you like to ask a lot of questions, and I want to know where that came from.
Bro, I'm a curious kid, bro. Or like, man, however you want to fucking look at me, depending on, you know what I mean? Because at the same time, like, yo, bro, I love the enjoyment of life. You know what I'm saying? If you want to call me a kid, then call me a kid. You know what I mean? Like, I want to enjoy life.
A 50-year-old might call you a kid, but I'm gonna call you old ass man.
Whatever, it's a perspective,
Yeah.
And like, but you asked where my creativity comes from, bro. I have a crazy amount of energy, bro. Like everything I do from when I wake up till I go to sleep is like bam, 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 bam. Like even after this, I have to edit.
Yeah.
It's just, it's what it is. It's who I am.
It's kind of something you were just born with.
I think I got distracted a lot when I was a kid, obviously, with a lot of things that you've went through as well.
Maybe with music.
Huh?
Maybe with music.
Distracted with music?
Distracted with the music you were listening to, maybe?
Nah. It wasn't even the music, because the music that I was listening to was Immortal Technique. I was listening to, bro, like it's not anything that, you know what I'm saying? I was listening to Lupe. I was listening to like a lot of.
I'm just fucking with you.
No, but the point is that like, even that, we can go into the topic of that, because Immortal Technique is cool, but he's also like, when I went into college, I learned that he was a part of the whole left forum. So he's like a leftist, I guess. But like, he has very deep thoughts. But at the end of the day, bro, it's all manipulation. You're going to tell me that your group, whatever the fuck it is going to make shit better? It's not, bro. It's not. I'm from Venezuela. Do you know anything about Venezuela?
Nope. I just know your people are.
Do you know? Nah, but let me ask, like, do you know, you ever heard of Hugo Chavez?
Nah.
You're Latino, right?
No, I'm Arabic.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm fucking with you.
Oh, bro, don't fuck with me like that, bro. Like, cause I was like, you seen that TikTok when the motherfuckers like, yo, are they Latino? Are they Latino or are they Arabic? Yo, look, nah, bro, let's talk.
Nah,
let's talk.
I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Bro, all right, so.
I just don't speak no Spanish. So.
But you're Latino, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you something. You know who Simón Bolívar is, right?
No.
You don't know who Simón Bolívar is?
No.
All right, he was one of our liberators.
Okay.
Most Spanish people, when you ask them, do you know who Simón Bolívar is? They be like, yeah. And then when you ask them, hey, do you know Alexander Pétion? They be like, no. Alexander Pétion was a Haitian general that actually was the one that helped Simón Bolívar, not only with cadets, but with knowledge to free our people. You know what I'm saying? But like, when you're looking at history, they don't convey it that way. Why? Let's be real about it. Because he was black. And then or whatever like prejudice it was.
Yeah.
So like, everybody got their shit. Even black people within their own culture got their shit. Everyone got their shit. But like, is really anybody for anybody? Bro, look around you. Not many people are for anybody besides themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe the shit. I don't
believe what?
I don't believe when people are like, oh, let's come together and like revolutionize, and like, no, because it just repeats the same shit. You just want to take over the shit that's already taken over and then create your own elite from it.
Who are you?
And that's what happened to Venezuela.
But who are you specifically talking about? When you
yo, bro, like everybody, they want to be like, let's revolutionize. What are we revolutionizing? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and that's what I mean is that in Venezuela that happened. Hugo Chavez, he was the president and stayed president for 20 years. What is that? A dictator, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know how he took over the country? He was in the military, bro. He was a cadet. And he took over the minds of the people. And he said, you know, like, and he helped a lot of people. I knew a kid in college, bro, that like had him tattooed on his back. I'm mad cool with him. He's cool. Cool Colombian dude. You know what I'm saying? Mad cool, mad knowledgeable. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing is that you gotta think about it. Yeah, he helped millions of people, but where is the state of Venezuela right now? They're in massive debt to Russia and China. You're talking about a place that was like once like America. People moved to Venezuela for work because there was petroleum. There was mad money, bro. Yeah. In the 80s, it was different. So like, and that could happen to America like that.
Yeah.
People think that inflation can't happen here. Like, yo, you know how much $1 is in Venezuela? The last time I checked, it was like over 400 million bolivars.
I'm about to go over there.
Good luck. You get robbed.
Right. Let's get a little political now.
Let's do it.
You're mentioning, you know, people that want to revolutionize. Are you specifically talking about any particular group?
I think it's just. It's any group, bro. I think it's any group, and it's not even to knock them. I think they actually believe in what they believe. It's just like, where does it go afterwards? You know what I mean? That's my frame of mind of it.
What do you like? You're gonna overthrow the government, but what are you gonna do after? You're just gonna continue the same shit?
Right. So there's only be certain groups that get shit, and then other people don't. Oh, I don't fuck with you, and I don't fuck with you, but I'm cool with you.
Yeah.
Bro, like.
So what is your stance on the current political state of our country?
It's exactly what it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what's funny? Is that even the people that run it can't control it.
Yeah.
The influx of different people has always been that way. Immigrants coming in has always been that way. Different types of people has always been that way. Motherfuckers getting tight has always been that way. Okay. People still gonna come through and do what they gotta do to survive.
think it's a little more crazy, at least for my experience. I mean, I've only been alive 20 years, but now I'm starting to see a lot of the fuckery that's going on, and I think life isn't meant to. I was really having this conversation the other day. I was like, I don't think we're really meant to be at total peace as a society. Because I think if the country and the world was just a perfect place, I think everybody would just go batshit crazy. Like Josh over here was talking about China. I mean, Japan was nice, but he's just sitting there like waiting for something to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think society would go fucking like
You
the
said China?
Matrix. I said China, but Japan. He was at Japan.
Bro.
I
You're not
corrected
paying
myself.
attention. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a
Fuck
good
I corrected
listener.
myself. Like I could probably put money that you've watched The Matrix.
Oh yeah,
When
for sure.
Smith
That was a good one.
when Smith was talking to Neo, or no, maybe it was Morpheus. He was like, they created the Matrix that they were in wasn't the first one. The first one that they made was perfect. There was no problems. Everybody was happy, perfect. But then everybody just went fucking batshit crazy. I think that's exactly what happened. So I don't think
that shit crazy.
I think that they need anarchy. We need something to struggle for, to fight for, to a goal to have in mind. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm getting at though is that the current political state of our country, to me, is like there's a lot of unnecessary fuckery going on. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of shit that could be fixed. I don't think it's ever gonna be to a point where it's perfect. But I think there's a lot of useless division that's happening between races, religion, and political stance. I mean, you have people that are just heavy on left and right. Fuck Trump, fuck Biden,
Right.
two sets of people, and it's like
All the distraction.
it's all a fucking distraction. Now I have my certain beliefs on Trump, but it's just like I'm not gonna let that divide me from you if you have a separating belief. You know
What do
I'm
you
saying?
believe about Trump?
I don't believe that he's as bad as what the media claims him to be. You know what I'm saying? That the media, mainstream media will say that he's a racist, he's going to be a dictator, that he's going to be the worst thing that ever happened to us. I don't necessarily believe that. I think that he's not the best that this country can provide, that can produce. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's sad that Trump and Biden are the two fucking candidates that we just have to fucking choose from. Even Kennedy, I think Vivek was a good candidate, but he doesn't have the support. But I don't think Trump is as bad as what they claim to be. I think his rhetoric could be better. I think he could have said things a little differently. Like there's certain parts where he says shit and it's just like, bro, like you know what you're about to do to yourself. Like, did you really have to say it like that? And some people will get what he's saying, and some people will just listen to what CNN will say and take it the complete fucking far opposite.
Well, he's an entertainer, so he knows that there's shock value in what he says.
Yeah.
Right?
But what's
But I like what you bring up because all right. You're talking about presidencies, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, that doesn't mean shit to us, bro. Like, these people are not only the ones that are in control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's way more.
And
There's
that's
way
another
more.
thing,
There's
bro.
way more in motion. That the presidency to me is also a distraction because is that motherfucker even in control? Really? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's just abiding, or she,
Well-
if maybe one day is just abiding to like what the structures are. So if you're thinking about what you can control as an individual that maybe is down, you know what I'm saying, in the poverty level, or you know what I'm saying, like just regular
think
people like
people-
us, you got to go through the local governments. That's when you can
Yeah.
create the change.
I was
But
just
people
about
don't
to say
talk
that.
about that, and people don't really do anything about that. It's just like, or they talk about it, but then they don't really just do anything about it, and then they make this whole shit that, oh, this presidency is so important, but is it really? Just like, and then, oh, that's what I mean. Yo, bro, it's all fake, bro. It's all fake. When I used to work for UPS, bro, I remember you would hear during the pandemic, motherfuckers clapping like, oh, yeah, like, thank you for delivering our packages. Bro, you think they really fucking, yo, bro, these motherfuckers didn't really even care. They're just doing it for a TikTok video so they could get likes. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, all that shit's fake, bro. Because right after that shit's done, back to regular. People don't give a fuck about you, and it's all the same shit. Bro, like, at the end of the day, you know what people really care about? Money.
Yeah.
Can you provide? Can you provide? Can you provide? That's it. That's all they care about. You know what people care about in businesses and in corporate, America? Can you do your job? Can you do your job? Can you come to work? Are you gonna like call out you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want in life? You know what I'm saying? People complain about so much. Oh, I hate my boss. They become a boss. Then they got workers. Oh, I hate my boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, like it's just like, yo, people always talking shit, bro. Just let it ride out. You know what I'm saying?
So the point of, does the presidency matter? I think it definitely does.
It matters.
Matter.
It matters.
Definitely does. But I 100%
It changes
agree.
perspective.
I 100% agree with you that people need to start taking more consideration to local governments. You know, who are your senators? Who are your representatives? You know what I'm saying? That's who's actually going to change shit for your everyday life. You know what I'm saying? That's the person that's going to fix that fucking pothole that you've been driving over every damn day. You know what I'm saying? But then again, the presidency is another just form of division. But people need to be aware. It definitely is important. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like Biden can fuck shit up in his own way. Trump can fuck shit up in his own way. Biden can succeed. Trump can succeed. So it's like, it's just which one are you really trying to get right now? You know? And then it's like, all right, let's worry about senators. I have a huge problem with senators that are investing in the stock market. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows about fucking Nancy Pelosi and shit, and she's better than fucking what's this guy's name? It'll come back to me.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah. I have a real big problem with people that are in office, in government, in government, that are just
Taking
there
advantage.
that are just there to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to eliminate that factor of government. Like, yo, you shouldn't be in government expecting to leave richer than when you came in, because now you're just gonna incentivize them to start doing shit for other companies that are gonna make them more money.
Yeah, but that's also another argument. Not to say that it's right for them to do it, but like also compensation. Excuse me. Compensation value. You know, when you have a very difficult job, you should compensate them well, because then they'll do a good job.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a bunch of people not getting paid enough in a society where it's already tough to live, then it makes people not even want to do the job in the first place.
Yeah.
And then you also, that's tackling self-worth. So, you know, is it right that she's doing what she could with what she got? I could say that to a lot of people about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, am I gonna judge? Again, bro, I'm really not, bro. Like that's why I feel like this country, bro, is really just about like, there's like thieves and pussies. And like, for real, like everyone just takes, bro. And then it's like, oh my God, he took. And then the other one's like, oh, you didn't take it. Okay. Bro, like, you think like, and that's another thing. It's like, it's so interesting, right? You know, we have a view of what family should be in the context of America. And you know, which is like birthed from a lot of white people, right? So we have a certain type of view of what a family is, the white picket fence, all that, through their perspective, right? But a lot of these motherfuckers is crazy as fuck and do fucked up shit in different polite ways.
What do you mean?
You know
by
what I'm
that?
saying? Like, and like by paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, oh, it's the law. We could fuck you. It's the law. You know what I'm saying? So like, and not you know, it's just a matter of how you're gonna look at it. But like,
on you and say
every
something.
race got their shit though, bro. That's not to say that. It's just they do it differently.
Talking about white people
In America? Yeah. Because if you go to, if you see white people in Europe, it's different too. I've you know, people talk a lot of shit about Germans. I've met a lot of dope ass Germans. Germans are mad cool. I met a lot of dope ass Australians. They be just like, hey, you know, we out here, we out over there. You know what I'm saying?
That was
like,
a horrible accent.
I can't do the accents, bro. All I know like how to say is like Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. You know, if you ever say something to, if you ever meet an Australian, you just be like Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Some of them will be like oi, 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 and then some of them like fuck you. I don't care.
I wanna pick your brain on a certain topic, and I'm actually very curious on where you stand on this. Something that's very controversial nowadays, which I try to stay away from, but I don't give a fuck.
Let's talk about it.
The whole Israel and Palestine situation. What are your thoughts on that?
For this one?
What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
It's light in here. I didn't even notice how light in here is. This
You
is
got the
perfect with
fucking glasses on.
I put the glasses on because shout out Trilla Casanova. I was like, when I saw him on the podcast, I'm like, he looks mad cool on this shit. I'm gonna bring glasses too, motherfucker. Well, go ahead.
What's your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the whole situation and the reaction of Americans to that situation?
It's exactly what I thought it would be, bro. Like, when you're really looking at people, and that's why you gotta be careful. You know, people manipulate through emotions. So you're gonna have one side feeling a certain way, and you're gonna have another side feeling another way. It's their own people. why wouldn't you feel something for your own people? Do I think that shit that happened on October 7th is fucked up? Yeah. But am I going to be like this guy, Piers Morgan? And like, you know, he had a bunch of people on his podcast and he was like, oh yeah, I had a bunch of people on my podcast that was pro-Palestine. But it was always the same shit. He would always just be like, he would let them talk. But do you think that is okay? Do you condemn what happens on October 7th? But do you condemn what happens? Yo, if you take a clip out of how many times he said that shit, it was like he was running on his own script of bullshit. Because then you're not really hearing someone out. You're just, oh, but do you remember what happened to October 7th? All right, but do you remember what happened between them for the past 70 years?
Yeah.
So it's just like, yo, bro, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm that's not my fight. But what I think about it, being a viewer, bro, I think some people got it and some people don't, and they take it.
What do you mean by that?
Like, bro, you got the ammunition. Do you think that Hamas had the ammunition that people in Israel had?
No.
They knew that. And then it's also like the argument, well, then why'd you provoke the bear? That's true. That's true too.
Yeah. For me in this whole situation, and the reason I stay away from it because I don't know a lot about it. I don't know the history of them beefing years before this whole shit took place. My main concern is and this is why I asked you about the reaction of people in America. As a viewer, both October 7th fucked up, and what Israel did after that is fucked up too, because you're just fucking there's no remorse for civilian life. You're just fucking bombing the shit out of everywhere. My thing is, I'm seeing a lot of protests, and I'm seeing a lot of fucking. They just fucking raided the fucking Columbia University. And what I see is I see a lot of people, and a lot of people I know that really don't know what the fuck they're talking about on social media, just projecting like virtue signaling that they're on the right side of this. You know what I'm saying? And my main issue is that there's a lot of things happening in America that again is not like, and it's like when I say this, people are gonna start comparing, but you got to really break down what I'm saying. There's a lot of things happening in America that we should be focused on right now. Not to say, and I'm not trying to take it from Gaza and the Israel shit, that it's not fucked up. It is fucked up. It's 100% fucked up. But as an American, that's that my life, like I'm focused on what's happening over here right now. I can't change anything that's happening over there, right?
I think that's that's an overplayed statement as well, bro. Only because like the thing is that it's also what it is. America is the world. There's people from all around the world that's here. So you're always going to be encompassed by things that are going on here and things that are going on there because there's enough people here. Did you see the streets, bro? Like a lot of Palestinians were out in the streets, bro. Like, and I live in Astoria there on Steinway. Bro, there was like 1,000 of them coming through down the streets. Like, and I thought it was dope, bro. They were fighting for their people. They're walking for their people. You know what I'm saying? There's something that when you get a collective together, it's a force that you can't play with, bro.
Nah, I feel you. But where is that energy when we're talking about, you know, maybe mental health and drug use, drug addiction, you know what I'm saying? The spending of our tax dollars.
The spending of our tax dollars, definitely. We should definitely march about that shit.
The fucking
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
But then when it's
then it's also like
when I speak on this, people are gonna be like, but you can't compare that to the people dying in Gaza. 100% I can't. But what I'm saying is like, again, I can't control what's happening over there. I can only control what the fuck my government's doing. Or at least I hope I can. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people protesting, and I like one of the protests they did. They kept saying Genocide Joe, he gotta go or some shit. I can fuck with that because now you're speaking to your own government. When you're just, and maybe I'm just not, you know, really heavily into the protests and trying to, and figuring out what it is exactly they're doing. But a lot of it I see is just like, what do you expect to happen? Do you expect Israel to turn on the TV one day and be like, oh, fuck, the GW's blocked. We got to stop, guys. Like, that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it's like, and then I see a lot of pointless division. Now you got fucking Jews marching. Now you got Palestinians marching. You're creating a divide between the Jewish community and Christian community and the Muslim community. That doesn't really need to be happening. If anything, we should be united in this. Sure. You know, let's start protesting our government. You know what I'm saying? They just sent $60 billion to Ukraine, a few to Israel. Like, let's protest U.S. involvement in that war. Because I'll protest that shit. What the fuck you sending the money for? And even though they're not sending them directly to their money, I don't mean to cut you off. Even though they're not sending directly to them, it's like, my guy, How much money are we in debt? And then how fucked are we as the people? And you're just sending it away. But what were you gonna say?
No, it just, bro, you're absolutely right. But it's the emotional cord that brings people together. So if you could find out a way to strike everyone's emotional cord about taxes, then you could find a way to get them together. You know what I'm saying? But everything's about an emotional cord. How can you strike that emotional cord to get people together to actually talk about something?
Give a fuck?
Yeah, to give a fuck.
But everybody cares, but it's like nobody's really gonna like.
Well, the thing is that life is funny, right? Because you're a kid and you don't really give a fuck. And then you grow up and then you start giving a fuck depending on your circumstance, right? And depending on everybody's circumstance. And depending on how much you want to dive into it. But the thing is that as time progresses, also time has shown for some people to care and some people not to care. And it's just an everlasting flow, you know? And that's why some people are in certain circumstances and some people aren't.
Yeah.
You know?
My thing is like...
But sometimes people are just lucky as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is like, how much of this is like, to me, I see the government and they're just like, they love that we care so much about this right now because we're not caring about everything else that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? We're not caring about, and some people are, but we're not caring about the border. We're not caring about mental health, the food industry, all the chemicals that they put in our shit, the water. You know what I'm saying? Everything you can think of, we don't care about that, but we're super focused on this shit. And that's something that's not going to change what's happening here. So they want us to care about that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people just like, you got to just don't get manipulated by that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, care for it. Do what you got to do. But like, pay attention to also what they're doing while you're fucking so focused on this. You know what I'm saying? Because all eyes are there. But what are they doing behind our backs while we're all turned away? That's what I'm worried about.
I think people should focus on being kind to their neighbor, like their actual neighbor, like their actual neighbor, not like that phrase, like, you know what I'm saying, like just your actual neighbor. You know what I mean? Like if you see someone that needs help, like more people should just do that. You know what I mean? Like that's it. It doesn't really take much. You know what I mean?
Be kind to everybody, bro. Because like be kind to everybody. Because like we were talking outside, we're all the same.
Well, not to everybody, bro. Sometimes
you should be kind to everybody, regardless.
Oh yeah.
And then we can. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow, what you gonna say?
We could talk about it.
Okay.
All right, I recently spoke about this. We have 5 minutes.
Yeah. Let me make this one point, and then, you know, like Jesus tells you to pray for your enemy, right? I think that's very. Some people are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Mm-hmm.
But think about it. Like there's nothing that separates the three of us here besides time, experiences, information, and whatnot. At the end of the day, when we were babies, we're the same fucking baby. You know what I'm saying? We might like some other stuff because of our genetics, but we're the same. We were just clean slates, and then we got painted over, and now we're the three different individuals that are here sitting here. So you got to be kind. Now, someone else might do some fucked up shit to you. But just because he did it, it's like, that doesn't mean you got to be a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying? Some people aren't going to understand that. I mean, if he just killed your fucking baby sister, that's going to be, you know, it's a different story. But you still should, you know, like, in a sense, you got to be kind to everybody. Because what they're going through, you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right, but you said it, so I don't even have to say it. Let me ask you. You're home, you're chilling with your girl, you're watching Netflix, everything's all right. You know what I mean? Got the popcorn, hot chocolate. Then, boom! Someone breaks in your crib. What the fuck you doing?
I'm gonna beat the ass.
Right. You're not gonna be kind, right? You're gonna be this like, oh, you know, he was just like breaking in my crib. Well, you want some popcorn too? You know what I mean?
I don't think you should be naive though. I mean,
exactly.
Obviously,
But that's the shit though, bro. Like,
and
it's
then, while I'm beating his ass, that doesn't mean I'm gonna fucking rip his eyes out and kill him.
I agree.
I'll cripple him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Show some type of mercy.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not gonna let him get the best of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta defend, but I'm not gonna be an animal. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree.
So you gotta differentiate that.
Absolutely.
You know
but you're
saying?
still gonna like do something about it, bro. Like that's the point. It's just like sometimes in life, you know, this shit is like Animal Planet. You know what I'm saying? It really is sometimes. You know what I mean?
We're fucking animals at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
We just learned how to talk.
Yeah. Animals talk to each other? Like,
yeah, but actually we learned how to build shit and fucking do other shit.
Ants build shit.
Not like us though. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
Get what I'm saying though. Real quick though, because we got a few minutes left. I wanna I want you to share. You believe in God.
Yes, sir.
How has God played a role in your life?
All right, well, I'm going to share 2 stories. I've said them on my podcast before. These are 2 separate stories. How much time we got? All right,
Just
all
go.
right. So, there was one time that I went to this spot to smoke with this girl that I knew, and in Forest Hills. And where it was, you can never find parking there. And it was raining. And we just so happened to find parking right next to the spot where we were going to. And we're chilling on this spot, right? And then these 2 girls, these Christian missionaries, come through, and they gave food to this homeless guy. And it was like, oh, does anyone else want food? And they were like, nah. And then they were like, oh, we're Christian missionaries. We're from California. Does anyone want a prayer? And I'm the type of dude, like, I like those types of interactions. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this came out of nowhere. Of course I'm going to try it. You know what I mean? Like, so then I was like, I do. And then the girl that I was with, she didn't didn't really believe in God. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But she was like, I'll do too. You know what I mean? And all right. So I was like, all right, bet, let's do this.
Well, that's good.
Right. So then she started. It was regular. She asked me first. She was like, oh, do you want to pray for someone? I was like, yeah, my family in Venezuela. And then she was like, all right. And then she asked the girl the same thing. And the prayer started simple. It was like, we're praying for Axel's family and the girl's name's family. We're hoping that they would be okay. And it like transformed into some shit that I didn't understand, bro. It was like, you ever heard the expression speaking in tongue?
Yeah. I've been to a church and they've spoken
It was crazy, bro. And then like I had this wild ass feeling that was like, I felt like it could kill me, but then it didn't. And it was like feeling like I felt like that was God, like it was like showing me like the power, something like not the power in me, but the power
maybe showing
that
you
God
his
could,
mercy.
like, I could kill, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I also felt this, like, people are gonna die, but it's okay. Like, that's what, like, I don't know, that's what I heard almost. And then I was crying, like bawling, like I couldn't even like stay in the vicinity. I just hugged her, thanked her, and then I just left. So that was one situation, right? But then this is another situation because some people say, oh, not to meditate. But then I don't agree with that at all. I have a very interesting story. So one time I was meditating. I read somewhere that if you go somewhere that's difficult to get to and awkward to be in, and if you can meditate there, that you could jumpstart an OBE. You know what an OBE is? An out-of-body experience. So I went to this spot in Central Park, and I've spoken about both subjects on my podcast. But I went to Central Park, and I found this man-made waterfall-looking shit, right? And there was 2 fences, and it was snowing, and there's people walking around. So it's like perfect scenario. You know what I mean? It's awkward to get to, hard to get to, awkward to be in because there's people walking by and all that shit. I was like, all right, this is the spot. I went on top, had to trust the earth in order to go up top. You know what I mean? Like, and you say you believe in God, you say you're Christian, right?
Yeah.
But your roots are like indigenous, bro. You know what I mean? We have a different also understanding of God and earth and nature and everything else that's deeper and from long ago, further than Christianity.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, I got on top of this mountain, right? And I started feeling this, because, meditation, you have to clear thought. You can't think of a single thing. So as I'm doing this, I started seeing, purple skies and one mountain. And on top of that one mountain, one flower. And I'm just flying around this shit, bro. It felt like it was my nirvana. You know what I mean? It was like the most peace I've ever felt in my life. And I wasn't on drugs. I was completely sober. For real. And then when I came back to my body, there was this tree calling out to me. And I'm like, why is this one tree calling out to me? You know what I'm saying? So I go up to the tree. And all over this tree was 2 eyes closed and 1 eye open.
That's wild.
Now,
look what he showed me.
all right, now peep game. Now peep game. Now peep game.
I'm peeping.
Years later, I showed this shit to my sister, and then she saw something even crazier in the photo, something I never seen, and it scared the shit out of me. Come. So you see the 2 eyes closed, right?
Yeah.
It looks mad peaceful, right? Like, like this is a spa day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm chilling, right? It's just like it's peaceful though, right?
Yeah.
Now check this out. Look inside the eye. You see the two eyes, the nose and the mouth screaming?
The two eyes show me?
Two eyes, the nose and the mouth. Looking at the
Nah, I can't see it. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I have to dissect it later.
Nah, but like, well, my sister like pointed it out, and I'm like, holy shit! And what that gave me, anyway, if you're looking at the photos together, right? What it gave me the understanding of like, do you really want to know everything? You know, sometimes it's better to close your eyes. That's why you don't like it looks peaceful. And then like,
well, ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss, yeah, but bliss is a good thing.
The truth will fucking drive you insane.
It can.
It will.
It can.
It will.
But it can. Now, I don't think it drives everybody insane.
In a certain aspect. This was a good conversation though.
Oh yeah.
I think one thing I want to just point out. I think a lot of people like when we talk about God, they try to look for God in things that they can explain. And if we're gonna talk about a spiritual being that you can't comprehend, you have to look into things that you can't explain. The things that happen in your life that it's just like, why did that happen? You know what I'm saying? Why did it that I had to go through that pain and I ended up so well when it finished? You know what I'm saying? Why was I in that specific spot to receive that blessing? When you were in that, you just happened to find parking on a rainy day and happened to be just right where those Christian missionaries from California, and now you just had a spiritual experience, and you know what I'm saying? Like that shit doesn't make sense. And it's in those situations where it's like that's where God lies. Mm-hmm. In the shit you can't explain. You can't explain God with fucking science.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
But that's why I also don't like when religions try to explain God.
Yeah, but I don't think it's religions. I think it's just the people that are speaking for that religion. You know what I'm saying? I think if we're talking about text, it's a little different. I mean,
where did it come from?
It's all about interpretation. But this was a great conversation.
It was.
I appreciate you for coming on.
I appreciate you, man.
I thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Guys, on that note, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Peace.
I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation.
Yes,
and I'll see you on the next episode. All right.
Bye-bye.
Peace.